Hi Rehan. I would also like to welcome my dear friend Mr. Kushagra Aswani, who is joining us directly from a placement batch meet. Kushagra, can we have you? Oh, the
Hello,
man, the myth,
brother.
the legend, he's here. So before we start the preview, Kush, I would like to check your naming convention. Why is it just Kush? Please rename yourself.
Okay, I'll do that right away. Apologies for the inconvenience caused.
You should not talk like this to a SPC member, but I'm letting this go. Please rename yourself. Okay. Good to know that your father's name is Mr. Sanjay. Now, coming to your casual attire, I know that you're wearing a formal shirt, but please can you put your hands up like this?
I can't do that.
Do you have any? What is this? What sort of a behavior is this? Did you mail on the same mail thread and get an exemption before this?
Apologies for that. I'll mail you right away.
And I can see a bit of your beard from here. Haven't you
I
shaved?
think
Don't
that's
you
enough.
know
I
that?
think we should.
Don't you know that this season is the most important part of your life? And if you're not serious this time around, then you can be a sleep part. Welcome, Kush. Glad to have you after a long time. And if any placement member of the okay, let's not go there. Let's start with the preview of the third test. It's gonna be India versus England at Lords. Kush, since you've not been there since quite a long time, आपको जो बोलना है बोलो. हम सिर्फ सुनने के लिए आए आज.
It's good to see Gill stepping up in the absence of a couple of seniors. Now, because India won this test match, a couple of the seniors have saved their spot in the ODI team, I believe. अ, अगर इंडिया हार जाता तो शायद ओडीआई टीम में उनकी जगह नहीं बनती एज पर गौतम गंभीर। बट हाँ, मतलब मैंने ज्यादातर टेस्ट मैच देखा नहीं है, दोनों टेस्ट मैच, बट आई हैव ओनली बीन एबल टू सी द हाइलाइट्स एंड इट वाज गुड टू सी इंडिया बैटिंग दैट वेल, putting up what 500 runs, 600 runs every
Kush,
every time
sorry
they
to
go out to
intervene.
bat.
Sorry to intervene. This is not an interview for your summer placements. तू खुल के बोल सकता है.
नहीं नहीं यार, मेरे दिमाग में मतलब जो भी आ रहा है मैं बता रहा हूँ। मीन आई हैव नॉट बीन एबल टू कैच अप विद अ लॉट ऑफ क्रिकेट ओवर द लास्ट कपल ऑफ वीक्स, सो
But what do
अभी
you
मैं ट्राई
expect?
कर रहा हूँ।
Yeah, what do you expect going into the third test? क्या रणनीति रहेगी इंडिया की? शुभमन गिल पूरा बैटिंग ऑर्डर फॉर्म में है. बुमराह विल बी बैक. आकाशदीप इज इन फॉर्म. क्या लगता है?
आई जस्ट वांट द इंडियन मैनेजमेंट टू ट्राई एंड ब्रिंग इन अर्शदीप सिंह in place of Prasidh Krishna. That's the only change I'd like to see. And if Bumrah is completely fit and available for the third test match, he should
He's playing the
come
third one.
right
It's
back
good.
in. Yeah, so having Arshdeep, Siraj, and Bumrah, I think this is a deadly bowling combination. And obviously, we have to talk about Akashdeep with the kind of performance he's put up. I think in the post-match presentation, he mentioned his sister is battling
Yeah.
from cancer.
Yes.
So it was just brilliant the way he stepped up in the absence of Bumrah. And बहुत ऐसे कम मौके होते हैं जहां पे हमें देखने को मिलता है कि बुमराह की एब्सेंस में इंडिया टेस्ट मैच जीता है, दैट टू ओवरसीज। सो अच्छा लगा देख के कि सबने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी शेयर की। बहुत मजा आया। गिल वॉज एब्सोल्युटली ब्रिलियंट, नॉट जस्ट एज अ बैट्समैन बट ऑल्सो एज अ कैप्टन। सो एवरीथिंग इज जस्ट फॉलिंग इन द राइट प्लेस फॉर इंडिया एट द मोमेंट, सो गुड साइंस फॉर देम गोइंग फॉरवर्ड।
So good to hear from an Indian team perspective, Rehan. Talking about England day before yesterday, while we were discussing the post-match review of the second test, we discussed whether England will make any changes or not. But they did announce their squad for the third test, and it was good to see that Atkinson will also be playing the third test. He was added to the squad. Now they have a lot of fast bowlers. Do you expect a completely new bowling lineup? You might have Sam Cook, you might have Atkinson, Jofra Archer, and Chris Woakes as your four fast bowlers.
You're right. I think Gus Atkinson directly makes it into the side. I think Bryden Carr says, he doesn't seem the kind of bowler that you would need for English conditions. He's more of hit the deck hard. Uh, with Archer's availability in question mark, I think Atkinson will definitely make it. And of what I have seen, Sam Cook seems like a very good bowler who can, swing the ball both ways. And if there is somehow a place for him, I mean, Josh Chung hasn't done that bad. But if you're looking for a proper out and out swing and seam bowler, then I think Sam Cook can also make it into the side. Uh, but I agree with the comments that Ben Stokes made post the match. He said that the wickets were more of the subcontinent pitches, and it won't be the same case in Lords. That is what I also expect personally, because see, when there are too many runs scored, it kind of becomes like a boring test match where there is no real contest between bat and ball. And I think the first test was a replica of the second one, where majority of the runs were scored, and it all came down to the fourth innings where you had to chase a big score. That template also will not work, and I think it will be important at the toss to decide, looking at the conditions, whether England choose to bat or bowl first. And we also discussed about Oli Pope or Jacob Bethel, who would make it to the team. And I think we had a common consensus that it would be Oli Pope. But yeah, you will expect some change from England, at least in the team and the mindset also. You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. So both of the question is for both of you. Do you expect baseball to be threatened by the way India have played this series? And the margin of the defeat as well was too huge. It was the biggest Indian win that we have had overseas. So do you think the margin of defeat could play on the minds of the England cricket team, and they might just be a bit more conservative? I wouldn't say too conservative. Maybe instead of scoring at five and over, they can go for between four and a half and over. Anyone can answer.
See, baseball is more of the approach with which you play, but I believe that the batting has been poor. Technically, they haven't been very good. See, Akashdeep bowled brilliantly. There are no two ways about it. But he was playing his first test in England. I mean, they could have tried to take him on, but that did not happen in both the innings. I felt somewhere the players are not in form, and they need to come up with a strategy to counter that, because see, it will become more tough when Bumrah comes into the side. And if you be ultra aggressive at the very beginning, if Oli Pope and Ben Duckett try to go ultra hard, I think that is where they'll lose out on wickets. And as we mentioned, that Oli Pope is not in form. Ben Stokes is all over the place. He's not been in any sort of a form. So I think it's more about the mindset. They will play with the same approach, but it will be important to see how they go about things.
संजय साहब, अगला सवाल आपसे। एक क्वेश्चन आपसे ये रहेगा कि इन द सेकेंड टेस्ट यू सॉ इंग्लैंड bowling 150 overs in the first innings. In the third innings, they almost bowled around 80 odd overs, again 83 odd something. So they had been on the field for 230 overs. Conservatively, दोनों innings मिला के I think they batted for a total of 140 overs, if not more. So, do you think that India, their approach, since they are making flat pitches, India is also batting just as they're scoring as much as England, but with a quite lesser run rate, because of which England bowlers have to bowl 25, 30 odd more overs every inning, which is taking a toll on their mental health as well.
So that could be actually a strategy with which I think Jadeja was playing. There was a phase in the first place where Shubman Gill was going at 80 or 90 का strike rate, and Jadeja on the other hand didn't even have a strike rate of 15. So after a point, I think एक हो सकता है strategy बनाई हो कि हमें bowlers को थकाना है. So that's why he was trying to be a bit more defensive, Jadeja, and Shubman Gill, on the other hand, was having an aggressive approach. So it's good to have that approach sometimes, but not always, because you don't want to draw a test match when you score these many runs. You obviously want to see a result. And it could backfire, but in this case it didn't. So I'm happy that India ended up on the winning side.
And One final question to the both of you. I think Rehan has already answered it day before yesterday. But again, let's go back to the predictions. Players to watch out for and who will win.
Kushagra, you can take it.
So my players to watch out for would be Joe Root from England, and I would like to see a bit more from Karun Nair from India. Hasn't looked the part so far. अच्छा खासा चांस मिला है, थोड़ा कैपिटलाइज करेगा तो उसके लिए भी अच्छा है. Might get a longer run in the test side. My prediction for this test match would be 60-40 in favor of India.
In England,
India,
India.
India.
India. Okay. And Rehan, आपके साइड से?
I think India will win. That is what I feel. But the real test for India begins now. I think
Yeah.
they'll not have the same kind of wicket that they did in the first two test matches. And I told you the players that I would be looking at would be Bumrah and Root from the respective teams. Big game, big players should step up.
So, just as you rightly mentioned, even I think that India will win. Although I think it'll be a bit more in favor of India. Do not agree with Kushagra. I think it'll be 70-30 in favor of India. Because if the ball moves a bit, then baseball is as bad as Sri Lanka playing or Bangladesh, whoever you want to take. So, and my players to watch out for from England could be Jofra Archer, as I had mentioned on that call as well. But I would like to change my player from India. I think Yashasvi Jaiswal already had mentioned before the start of the series that his personal goal was to become the highest run scorer of the series, and seeing Shubman Gill, not his rival or competitor, but seeing his friend, his teammate score so many runs and having that much potential as well, he would like to convert those 80s, 90s, or 100 odd to 150, 200. So he would be looking to score as well at Lords. If the pitch is flat, then expect him to make 200. Or if the pitch is seaming around, then expect him to show a lot more uh, technical consistency in terms of everything. He could go on to make a big score. And yeah, India to win. So hopefully, guys, we'll catch you at the end of the third test and in the middle as well. If things move along pretty fast, we do not expect the match to go into day five, do we now?
Depends on how the wicket is. If it's swinging around, then I think it'll get over in 3 days
4 days,
maximum.
yeah. So yeah,
I
Kush,
just have
before
one
we end,
question. I just have
yeah,
one question for you guys. Do you think Shubman Gill has a realistic chance of breaking a world record by scoring the most number
depends.
of runs in a test
It
series?
depends because the fourth and the fifth match are both at Oval and Manchester. Both grounds, Old Trafford and Oval, are known to also offer flat pitches. So you could see him score a total of 300, 350 odd runs over there as well. It all depends on how much he scores across both the innings at Lords. If he gets to a score of 150 across both innings combined, then he reaches somewhere around 700, and then that 950, 980 run mark could be within distance. It looks like a 2016 Kohli IPL edition season for him right now. Let's not comment too much. Let's hope for the best.
Okay, here's a trivia for you guys. I want to know from you guys who is that player and how many runs he scored. What is the world record of most number of runs in a test series?
Don Bradman versus England from Australia, somewhere around 978 or 980.
No, that's not the exact number. Rihan, what do you
Opening.
think?
No, but I think I would differ from Naman. I think he will not be able to make it. Sorry to all the Shubman Gill fans. That is what I feel. I mean, nothing against him. But I just feel that the pitches would be very different and the bowling of England will go on to become more strong with the addition of Gus Atkinson and Jofra Archer.
Hmm.
So I have my doubts whether he'll be able to replicate the same.
974, is it?
Okay, but हाँ अब तो गूगल करने के बाद तो है ही।
तू इंटरव्यू
ठीक
में
है।
प्ले करने वाला है, ठीक है ना, ग्रुप डिस्कशन में ज्यादा मत बोल.
So on that note, I think we should end the video.